Hello all. Today I will be working on Git. So Git is a part of DevOps team. It is a part of DevOps. So what you basically can do is that keep a track of your file changes, the file which you are pushing from your local computer to your cloud repository. There you can keep a track of the changes you made and then share it along with your team members. Now I have two GitHub accounts. While switching from one GitHub account to another GitHub account, I faced some challenges. To overcome those challenges, what I did, I am going to show you here. In here. So what you need to do is that you need to first download Git. To download Git, go to the GitHub website. So you can simply write that Git download. You can simply write that portion. Go to the Git website, and from there you will be finding here, you will be for the Mac OS, Windows and the Linux. So choose your operating system accordingly, whether it is Windows or Mac OS or Linux. And after downloading, so I have here my downloaded file is placed here. I have installed Git already in my computer. So this is one of my profile. Here it is, Shomal Lokhan, and the name of this profile is kanakhatri@github.com. So let me and I have another account. So let me sign out. So I have another account. Let me show it to you. So when you will be using Git, at first you need to go to click on this sign up, and then using your Google credentials, you can easily create a GitHub account free of cost. So if I click on sign in, and then if I go to that particular GitHub account, my another GitHub account, it's pim.manlo, and let me give the password. Let me give the password to get logged in. So okay, so the spelling there is a typo mistake. So let me again give the password. I think I am giving the wrong password. Pressing some wrong keys. So here is my GitHub account. So this GitHub account, there is a particular section, this one. Where it is, you have to go to the settings section, and from there you have to go to this particular section, SSH and GPG key. Now this public key is a authentication key which authenticates my local computer to the cloud repository of GitHub. Now this particular key which is present in my this authentication key is been linked to my this profile, Shomal Lokhan. So let me see what happens, what error might arise, and how can I overcome it successfully. Let me sign out of this account, and again then go to sign in, and then go to my second account, and let me show you what obstacle we might face if we are using two accounts. So let me create a blank repository for testing purpose. So let me click new and name it blank. So I will later on, this repository won't contain any coding or important file, but this is a blank repository, which means that I am using this for a testing purpose. So let me create the repository. So the repository is being created, and here are the list of the bunch of commands which you need to type to push your local file to the cloud file to keep a track of your version controlling system, that is Git. So let me go to this folder, and here let me make a simple text file and name it say simple txt file. Let me name it like that, and let me write something. So first line, that is the content of this particular file folder. Now this is particular file. So Ctrl W, close this one. Now I have to open Git bash here. Now the first thing I need to do is that I need to authenticate. So for that reason I need to config. So I will be writing git config global, global. Okay, so it will be git config -- global user dot name, and the username is git config global. Yeah, let me run this commands. No, I won't be using Shumalo Khan. That was my second profile. I am working in this particular folder. It's okay. So this is the name of the user. Fine. Now write git config. Let me give the username git config dash global, and let me give another user.password, user.email, and name the email of that particular account is toast.maketext. That's echo for Android. Pardon me. toast.maketext@gmail.com. Fine. Now I need to generate the SSH key, the public key and the private key. So for that reason I will be typing this command SSH key. Okay, so it's SSH key gen, SSH key gen. Yeah, so the public and the private key has been created. Okay, fine. Okay, so the public and the private key is being created, and it is located in, see, here is the folder, here the file path is given, C users, here it is. So let me copy this particular path, Control C, and go to any folder, and say suppose I will be pressing Control V. Let me remove this particular slash, and it will be C : users, and press enter. Here it is. So this is the this is the key which I will be needing for the public key. So let me open up Notepad, and this is the public key. Also let me show for a brief amount of time. See, this is the private key. We don't work generally with the private key, we work with the public key. So you need to authenticate by pressing. So let me open up another GitHub terminal. Okay, so it's Google, not Google, it would be GitHub. Let me open up another GitHub terminal where we will be pasting these particular keys. So I will be going to the settings section, and from there I will be going to this particular SSH and GPG keys, and from there I will be deleting the key which was earlier present, and paste this new key which I have just generated. So I will be naming it public, and let me paste the particular key. After that, save this particular key. So far so good. Key is already in use. Okay, fine. So key is already in use. You have successfully added the key. Okay, whatever it says, let me check whether the key has been added or not. So new SSH key. Let me name it again. Say pub, and let me paste it. Add SSH key. Let me see. Key is already in use. You have successfully added the key pub. Okay, so it is not letting me add the public key. So the reason behind this could very well be I earlier had an account and it had an SSH. So let me delete this folder, and also let me go to the credential. I will type in credential manager. So this is the error which I was getting, and I would like to share it with you. From there, see, so pop device, no, there is no GitHub here written. No, there is no GitHub. No, there is nothing as such. Fine. So let me what I did is SSH config user.name. So git config user.name. Okay, fine. Git configuration is fine. So generating public key and private key. Let me generate the key one more time. Enter, and then enter, and then enter. Let me go to the particular folder once again, and SSH key section. Let me open up Notepad and paste this newly generated SSH key. Control. Okay, so Control A, Control C. Let me copy it and go to the SSH and GPG key section. From there I have to new SSH key and name it something. So suppose key pub, and let me paste it. Let me try one last time whether it is being added or not. Okay, so you have successfully added the key pub. So far so good. Now I need to make this repository particular. Let me press back button one more time, and one more time, and here it is. So this particular new folder, not in this folder, I am in this particular folder. Let me show you the folder structure. It is eLexmark. So I have to go to E, and then I have to browse to Lexmark. Fine, let me go to that part here. Okay, so let me show what is let me make this a Git repository. For that reason, I need to initialize this as a Git repository. So git init file. So Git repository has been initialized. Next, let me show you what is the status of this repository. So the status simply shows that everything is in the working area and nothing is in the staging area. So to push a file to the staging area from the working section, so I am currently in the working area. If I press dot, that would mean that every file which are present in this particular Lexmark folder, everything would be pushed from the working directory to the staging directory. So let me push one. I mean, from the working directory to the staging directory. Let me push the file one by one. So I will be simply typing simple. Okay. So the file name is not proper. Let me see whether it worked fine or not. So let me type git status. Okay, it worked fine. Also, let me commit the changes. Let me make a change. So I'll be commit -m. It will be my first commit. So let me name first commit. So far so good. Press enter. Okay, so git commit is also being being done. Username and the password has also been set. Username and the email has also been set. SSH key generation has also been done. Now it's time to locate this. Link this particular directory with the cloud repository. So let me go to my repository section. From there, go to blank, and let me link this local repository with the cloud repository. For that reason, I will be copying this piece of code to link my local folder with the cloud folder or the cloud repository. Let me paste that particular code and press enter. Okay, so show now I need to push this particular file. So I will be writing git push -u, and then the name of this is master. Git push the name of my git push u origin, and then master is the name of the branch on which I am working upon. Press enter. It might ask you to authenticate. Okay, see, permission to Kandapatra is denied to Shomal Lokam. This is the error which I was getting earlier. For that reason, you need to go to the credential manager, go there, Windows credential, and here see modified today. All you need to do is now remove this particular section. See, now let me run the command once again. Push -u origin master. Press enter, and it would be asking you to give the password. Okay, so sign in with your browser. I think the file is being okay, the file has been pushed successfully. Now let me roll back to that particular folder and let's see whether it is pushed or not. So blank. Okay, so the file is being pushed. Now click on this section. So the first line is being shown. So let me make another change, and the change would be reflected upon, and there will be versioning. So all I will be doing is that I will be going to here and then say edit, or okay, first line, and I will be adding another line. Say another line. Let me make it on a new line. So another line, Control S, Control W. Now let me see what's the status of this particular status. Let me see the git status, and it says something has been modified. So there is a second version. For that reason, I will be again writing git add, then the name of the file. So fine. After that, I will be pushing this to the cloud repo. For that reason, I will be running the command once again, push -u origin master. Press enter. So the first time you are configuring your git at that particular, for the first time, what do you need to do? So let me show you. Let me show you whether it has been added or not. So let me go to the blank, and then okay, so I didn't make any commit. I should have made a commit so that I did this git status modified git commit. Okay, so git commit was not done. Okay, so there is some error. I need to make a commit, git commit -m. So if I don't commit, what will be the output? So if I don't commit, there won't be any changes. So for that reason, I will have to run this command. So git commit -m first modification. Let me run the file. One file changed. So far so good. Then push the file. So push -u origin master. second. Okay, fine, it's been pushed. Now let me check the file and refresh this one more time, and it is showing, see, first line, another line, and if I go to the particular blank, it would be showing, see, first modification, and so here it is, committed now, committed. So first commit, then first modification. So modification spelling is mistake, kindly overlook on it. So this is pretty much about it. So what we have learned, and what are the I mean the challenges which we face. First of all, we need to download Git, and after that we need to create an account on Git, and then we learned that we need to first config. So we need to write git config. We need to write this particular command, git config -- global, then user dot name, and then within quotation user dot name, and then within quotation you have to write your username. In the same way you have to write git config. In the same way you next need to write git config, and then add the URL -- global, and then user dot password and non-password, sorry, user dot email. You won't be requiring this password particular section @gmail.com or say outlook.com, whatever, whichever user, I mean email address you're using. After that you need to create a SSH keygen, fine. Then you have to copy that particular public key. Then you have to copy this public key and paste it to the SSH keygen section. And if you are having multiple accounts in GitHub, multiple accounts, you need, in the search box, just type credential manager, fine. So let me type one more time, credential manager, fine, so far so good. And from there, credential manager, click on this section, Windows credential, and see this particular section. So this one is now being my computer, so my host name now is Karnakhatri. Again, if I roll back to that particular profile in which my email address was pu.mallu@gmail.com and where the username was Shumal Khan, then again there will be the host identification problem. So to remove this host identification problem, I will be deleting this particular section. I will be just clicking this remove and follow these steps which I just now did, and that's how you can you can link your local computer with a cloud computer. And also remember that okay, so local computer with a cloud computer, so that's pretty much all about it. And oh yeah, so which I was trying to say is that, so the first time you are you are using your you are being logged into your GitHub account, and you are trying to push some file. For the first time only you will be asked to, for the very first time you will be asked to provide your password. From the next time onward, you won't be asking, they won't be asking you what is your password. So that's if you are using the public key and pasting it to the SSH keygen section. But if you don't paste this particular key, you will have to type the username and the password multiple times. So say suppose there is another folder. So let me go to this folder structure and say suppose let me make a file. Let me make a new folder. So suppose I'll be making the folder as Ctrl+Shift+N. I'll be making it as Robert. So suppose the name of the file is Robert, and go to that particular. Okay, so let me make a file here, text file. So new text document, and say name it let me name it push, and let me just write one line, Ctrl+S, Ctrl+W. Let me make a blank repository and see whether they are asking for the password or not. So your repositories, let me make a new one and let me name it Samsung. So Samsung is the name of this particular repository. Create repository. So user.name and user.password has already been set. All I need to do is now I have to go to that particular folder here. So here I will be right clicking here on the blank space, and I will be going to the git bash section, and I will be typing the following command, that is git init. The first command will be git init to make this a empty git repository. After that I will be adding something, so git add push.txt, fine. then I will be making some commit. So git commit dash m, git commit dash m, first commit, say suppose first commit, let me name it as such. Fine, so the commit has been done. Now let me add the URL. So remote, you can name the origin anything, any identifier. So you can name this as well, any name you wish to. So if I also say that the name of this particular identifier will be Shomallo, that would work perfectly fine. Remote add, okay, fine. Now the time is for pushing. So git push, then go to dash u, then Shomallo, and git u Shomallo, and then it is main, it will be master. Fine. Let me press enter and see whether they are asking for the password. See, they are not asking for password one more time. So if you are pasting, if you are authenticating your local computer with the cloud computer, and you are pasting this public key in the SSH keygen section, then for the very first time you will be asked for the password, to give the password. But for the second time, for the next time onwards, you need not authenticate one more time about the password. So if you shut down your computer and restart your computer, all you have to do is that you have to make a initialization, a git repository, in empty repository, by typing git init, and then git init, and then you have to add those particular files, git add, and the name of the file, or dot means all of the file would be added. Then you need to make a link to your cloud repository. So git remote add origin, so that would be either origin or any identifier, and then the URL, and then push. So this is all I have learned so far, and the problem which I was particularly facing is that I am having multiple GitHub account, and while switching from one profile to another profile, I was facing the host name conflict. So to to eradicate this host problem, all I have to know is I will go to the credential manager, and from there I will be searching for credential manager, and under Windows credential I will be removing this particular Kanakhatri account, and then when I am reconfiguring that new repository or the new profile which I am just using, so by writing git config, then username, and then the new username, the new account which I am using, that would be listed here. So there won't be any host conflict from that time, and from that moment onward. So I think I was able to make you understand, or I was able to explain what I was trying to achieve and what problem I faced and how I am using Git. Try it yourself, Google a bit, and you can very well be a master in Git. Hope you liked it, and maybe it will help you in some way, like the way I search for credential, deleting the credential manager, from there deleting that account, the problem I faced. Maybe you would be facing some problem as well. Maybe it will help you in any ways. Nevertheless, I thought of making a video and keep it as a documentation for myself. That's all for now. Thank you guys, and happy coding.